All right, let's dive into what might be the single most powerful force in your financial life. And here's a spoiler. It's not about how much money you make. No, it's about realizing that your time, well, that's a far more powerful asset than money itself.
So, to really see what I mean, let's frame this whole thing around a simple but really powerful financial mystery. Yeah, you heard that right, a 5-year delay. I mean, it sounds kind of impossible, doesn't it? How could waiting just 60 months, 5 years to start investing cost someone almost $750,000? Let's really break this down. Okay, let's put some real numbers to this. So meet Sarah. She starts putting away $500 a month right at age 25. Now here comes Michael. He does the exact same thing, $500 a month, but he waits until he's 30. Now, if we assume they both get a pretty standard 8% return, Sarah retires at 65 with a cool $1.75 million. And Michael? Well, he's got just over $1 million. That 5-year head start, it's worth an extra $700,000. Just wow.
Look, this massive gap, it's not some kind of accounting trick. It's the result of a financial engine that, and this is wild, a 2024 survey found that only about 34% of people actually get it right. And you can bet that knowledge gap translates directly into a wealth gap.
So the big question is, how is this even possible? Well, it's time to pull back the curtain on the hidden force behind Sarah and Michael's story. This is the answer to our $1 million or, $700,000 mystery.
It all comes down to a concept called the time value of money, or TVM. The core idea is really simple. A dollar in your hand today is way more powerful than that same dollar a year from now. But why is that?
Well, it's basically for 3 key reasons. First up, opportunity cost. A dollar today can be put to work right now, earning more money. Second, there's inflation. You know this one. Prices go up, so a dollar in the future just doesn't buy as much stuff. And third, plain old risk. A dollar you have in your hand, that's a sure thing. A promise of a dollar later, not so much.
But what's the actual engine driving all of this? What's the math that makes it all work? It's a concept you've definitely heard of, but maybe you've never truly felt its raw power. We're talking about the magic of compounding.
So check this out. This number, this is what happens to a single dollar if you invest it for 40 years and 8% return. It becomes $21.72. I mean, that's not just growth, that's a total explosion of value. It's the point where your money starts making its own money.
The problem is our brains are just not wired for this kind of thinking. We didn't evolve for it. We think linearly, right? Like, if I go out and gather twice as many berries, I have twice as much food. Simple. But wealth, it doesn't play by those rules. It grows exponentially. It's like this slow burn at first, and then bam, it just goes vertical. And that's exactly why it's so easy for us to underestimate the insane power of starting early.
There's this famous quote, people often say it was Einstein, that just nails it perfectly. It captures the two-sided nature of this whole thing. You're either harnessing this force or, well, you're a victim of it. There really is no middle ground.
And that brings us to, let's call it the dark side. Because this incredible, powerful force we've been talking about, it's completely neutral. It couldn't care less if it's making you rich or if it's burying you in an avalanche of debt.
Let's see that difference in action. On one side, you've got your savings, hopefully compounding for you at a healthy 8% a year. But on the other side, you've got something like credit card debt, and that compounds against you at a devastating rate. We're talking 24% APR, sometimes even more. It's the exact same math, the same principle that builds fortunes, but it can also dig financial holes so deep they feel impossible to escape.
And believe it or not, it gets even worse. If you think 24% is bad, just take a look at the effective annual rate of a typical payday loan. Over 3,000%. That's not just debt anymore. That's a financial trap, pure and simple. And it's powered by the dark side of compounding. So, okay, we've seen how this works both for you and against you. It brings us right back to that central question. What is the single most important variable, the key ingredient in your financial future? This table, this just lays it all out crystal clear. Look at the early starter. Invests for just 10 years, puts in a total of $60,000, and walks away with almost $1 million. Now look at the late starter. This person invests 3 times as much money over a longer period and ends up with less. How? It's simple. The early starter's money just had more time on the field to do all the heavy lifting.
So here's the crucial point, the one thing to remember from all of this. The single most powerful factor in building wealth isn't how much you make, it's not how smart you are, It's not even your amazing investment picks. It is, quite simply, time. Time is the fuel for that compounding engine. The more time you give it, the more powerful the outcome will be. It's that simple.
You know, there's that old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Every single moment you delay has a real, measurable cost. The math we just looked at is crystal clear on that. Look, none of us can go back in time, but the power to act is right here, in this moment. So the only real question left is, what are you going to do with it?